This is 2nd Ezra 9, starting at 1. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. I like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother shot there from the Chicago camp, coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And this scripture was inspired by, it just so happened this popped up in my YouTube feed, and it's entitled The Survivalist, probably coming out this year or maybe next year. But the trailer is very interesting. So we're going to let this play and get some scripture.
It is day 592 since the beginning of the end. There's no more government here. For those survivors who are still with us, batten down the hatches, make sure your guns are clean, and find a way to protect yourselves.
You need to run. Don't stop until you get to Ben's.
Go!
You need to get to Ben's.
He was one of the best FBI agents I've ever seen.
He became a survivalist.
Why did you come here?
They found me.
We're gonna take the girl. We're gonna kill the rancher.
You have 30 seconds to get off my property. You can A, give us the girl, then let me burn your ranch to the ground. Or B, we will kill you and take the girl anyway.
Don't let them take me.
It's going to be a long night. I'm the one who decides who lives and dies. Me. You come to my house! You try to kidnap this girl! And then you try to kill me! There's 5 of us. There's 1 of him. I didn't ask you to come here! The girl is mine. She is my destiny. Your destiny is going to get you killed.
There you have it. Okay, you have a situation where all hell breaks loose, or as the popular term is starting to be said quite frequently, shit hits the fan. So let's go back to 2nd Ezra 9 and read this again. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And how do we measure the time diligently? By observing the prophecies in the Bible. Because the Bible clearly states that this is a book of lamentations, mourning, and woe, meaning destruction. This means that there are certain prophecies that are not good. That means there are prophecies that deal with famine, that deal with plague, that deal with disease, that deals with death, that deals with rioting, pillaging, and other such things. And when we read these prophecies and observe the time, the way that we're supposed to, according to the scriptures, we know that as the scripture said, this is what the Most High spoke of. And observing the prophecies, we know that this is the end of the end. This is the very end of the end, because it says, therefore, when thou shalt be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And what does this movie show you? Uproars of the people. 592 days without the government. And whoever's surviving, batten down, clean your guns, all right, and protect yourself. I forgot how she specifically said it. But even though we're not fully at that point in the so-called real world, everything is set in place. You still have uproars of the people. You got uproars in France, you got uproars in Germany, in Italy, in the UK, Australia, Russia, China. I mean, people are angry and upset and protesting everywhere. And see, this is a prophecy that was also predicted in the Bible. We're going to stay in 2nd Ezra, and we're just going to go to the 15th chapter, where it says, 15th chapter, 14th verse, woe to the world that the Most High created, and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And that's what this movie portrayed. A world where the old way of things was completely destroyed, and you had a new way of living taking place. And it says, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And that's what you saw. Bats, clubs, knives. People were very angry and upset. What they were upset about, well, when the movie comes out, I'm sure we'll find out. But that element is for right now is left to the unknown. But what they portrayed in the trailer, just like you're seeing in real life, you have people outside with bats, with torches, setting things on fire, looting, pillaging. This is how we know that the end is here. And it says, for there shall be sedition, violent uprising, uproars of the people among men, and invading one another. Now you saw, as portrayed in this trailer, these group of men came to this survivalist house for the woman. And he didn't care. He told him, you can give us the girl and let me burn down your ranch, or I can kill you, burn down your ranch, and still take the girl. What is it going to be? He was very bold in his conviction for what he wanted to do. And the reason why is because there was no government. And it says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. There was no government, so that means there was no aldermen, there were no mayors, there was no city council members, no governors, no senators, no House of Representatives, no vice president, no president, secretary of state, none of it. There was none of these things. It was every man for themselves. Survival of the fittest. And we're very soon approaching a time here in America and across the world where Darwinism is going to be displayed in its perfection. The weak will die. The wicked, or How should I word this? Yeah, basically, the weak and the wicked will die, and the meek and the righteous will live. All right. And it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And that's the whole reason why America is going to look like this movie very soon, because of its pride. When you go to Isaiah, I believe it's the 47th chapter, it says, Isaiah 47:7, it says, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that saith in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. That's a very prideful statement to say that you will always be on top, you will always be calling the shots, and you are so powerful that you will never know how it feels to be alone, to mourn, or experience loss. And as the scripture clearly says, pride goeth before destruction. And America is the most prideful place in the entire world. That's why it's going to be destroyed. That's why America and every place that's been corrupted by the mentality and mindset of America is soon going to meet the fate that you saw in this trailer called The Survivalist. And there's not going to be any strong, independent women. You saw that lady, she was under the protection of a man. And what did that guy tell her when I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's safe to say that this guy didn't make it. He died protecting her. And he told her to go see Ben. Go under the protection of another man. And that's what's going to happen in that time. There's not going to be any strong, independent women. Isaiah 4:1 will be fulfilled in its maximum perfection. You know what? Let's get that and we can just end on that. And it says, in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. You didn't see that woman taking up no guns and battling an army of savage men. Yeah, that stuff looks cool in the movie when they're doing a work of fiction. But these people that write these movies, you can't work in Hollywood unless you know the Bible. These guys know. These guys have studied history. They know it ain't going to be no Wonder Woman or Sarah O'Connor's in that day. They know that you women are going to fold like a bad bit with his hand. And when that time comes, you will be seeking a man. You all better get your mind right, because they're putting this right, as I always say, in plain sight for you to see that this society is going down. All hell and shit hits the fan is going to happen. And if you're not right with the Lord, you will not make it. If you are a woman that's not right with the Lord, he will not bring you to a man so you can make it. This is what it is. Get your mind right. So I hope you all were edified. And until the next time, we're going to say shalom.